By the time help arrived, 67-year-old Edward Slick Gibbons' wallet, shoes, and broken glasses were scattered across his garage floor. He was crawling through his own blood, trying to get help. As the three criminals who hid inside his garage and ambushed him jumped inside his truck and took off. Clarendon County Sheriff's investigators collected more than a dozen pieces of evidence, documented bloody shoe prints, clipped blood-soaked clothes, swabbed for DNA, and dusted for fingerprints. And a short time later, someone found Slick's stolen El Camino abandoned a few miles from his home. A man working for the Gibbons took the car to Slick's parts store, where investigators later taped it off and dusted it for fingerprints. Slick Gibbons, beaten and bloody, survived the attack. Investigators showed up to the hospital to take this black piece of duct tape off his head and logged it into evidence. Slick Gibbons was a motorsports legend in South Carolina. Winning more than 250 dirt races will do that, and it earned him a spot in the Clarendon County Athletic Hall of Fame. He was also a businessman. Some thought he walked around with enough cash to make this all worth it. Slick told investigators three masked men were hiding in his garage and jumped him. One sat on his chest and beat him in the face. Another held his legs. The three kicked and stomped him, and they cleaned out his pockets. Clarendon County Sheriff's investigators went to work to figure out who did this. Days after the attack, Sheriff's investigator Kenneth Clark claimed he got a tip from a confidential informant reporting three people spending a lot of money right after the robbery. Those three men became the prime suspects in the Gibbons ambush. One of those men, Michael Wilson Pearson. Clarendon County investigators took Pearson's fingerprints along with the two other men the CI claimed were on a spending spree. The county got nearby Sumter Police Department to run the prints through the nationwide automated fingerprint identification system known as AFIS to see whether any of the three men matched any of the prints from the crime scene. The computer database returned negative results, meaning none of the men's prints matched anything in the database. That's until Sumter Police's AFIS expert, Marie Hodge, visually compared the men's prints to the crime scene prints. She determined a single thumbprint on the back of the El Camino belonged to Michael Pearson, but she could not determine when, where, or how the print got onto Slick's car. A few hours later, sheriff's investigators arrested Michael Pearson, charging him with the robbery, kidnapping, and beating of Slick Gibbons. The sheriff's office had no other suspects. 2 months later, the slid lab processed a DNA swab from the duct tape wrapped around Gibbons' head. The DNA matched a man named Victor Weldon. Investigators charged him and accused him and Pearson of being co-conspirators. The county grand jury indicted Pearson and Weldon on charges of felony burglary, armed robbery, kidnapping, grand larceny, and possession of a weapon during a violent crime.
This is the state of South Carolina versus Michael Wilson Pearson.
Both men stood trial in Clarendon County in May of 2012. Third Circuit Solicitor Chip Finney tried Pearson and Weldon together. It took the Clarendon County jury just 20 minutes to find them both guilty on all counts. The judge sentenced Michael Pearson and Victor Weldon to 60 years in prison, essentially a death sentence. Pearson would have been 97 and Weldon 83 years old before they'd ever see daylight again. Both men asked the state's appeals court to overturn their convictions. In 2014, the Court of Appeals overturned Pearson's conviction, finding the fingerprint evidence merely raised a suspicion of Pearson's guilt, and that caused the jury to speculate about his involvement in the ambush. The court also found investigators had no other evidence placing Pearson at the crime scene, or proof he even knew his co-defendant, Victor Weldon, at the time. The appeals court ordered a new trial for Michael Pearson.
Serving as your Attorney General has been a great honor.
But Attorney General Alan Wilson stepped in and asked the state Supreme Court to undo the appeals court decision giving Pearson a new trial. The AG wanted to keep him imprisoned. The AG argued the appeals court misunderstood case law it applied in Pearson's case, and the prosecution against Michael Pearson did not present a complete failure of evidence of his guilt. Instead, the case proved circumstantial evidence of guilt, that Michael Pearson was there and participated. The Supreme Court sided with the AG's office, canceled his new trial, and reinstated Pearson's conviction and that 60-year prison sentence. Victor Weldon also appealed his convictions. Despite the DNA evidence against him, he argued his own attorney failed to call alibi witnesses. Weldon argued those witnesses, his own mother and sister, would have told the jury he was at home when Slick Gibbons was ambushed, robbed, and attacked. In 2021, the appeals court overturned his convictions and ordered a new trial. The Attorney General asked the state Supreme Court to review the appeals court decision, but the High Court denied the AG's request, and Solicitor Chip Finney and Victor Weldon prepared to face off again before a Clarendon County jury.
Hey, Victor. How you doing?
All right.
You sit right here.
In March 2023, instead of putting Victor Weldon on trial a second time, Solicitor Chip Finney decided to offer him a plea deal.
Vic, I'm Mark Creech.
All right.
Doing okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I work as an investigator with the solicitor's office. I retired from SLID, had over 30 years in the system, and came here a couple of years ago part-time. You know Kenny Clark, he's captain of investigations.
The deal? If Weldon told everything he knew about what happened to Slick Gibbons 13 years earlier and everyone who took part in it, Finney would cut 45 years off his sentence and set him free.
And you know why we're here.
Yeah.
Okay. Your lawyer's here with you. He's explained everything to you. So we're just going to let you talk.
All right. See where I start off at.
I'm not trying to tell you what to say, but start off when you first, whoever talked to you or whatever, or how you became aware, whatever.
Victor, just to make you feel, I'll just say this for the camera.
Yes.
We've signed this plea agreement. I've gone over it with Victor. He understands that we agreed on a plea, and he agreed to this statement. If the plea fell apart, it couldn't be used against him.
Correct.
And so, you want to give your full account of what happened. So that's the context we're here.
Right.
Victor Weldon was about to deliver a confession and provide evidence that the Clarendon County Sheriff's Office and Solicitor Chip Finney convicted an innocent man.
Did you know for
Thank
2
you for
years?
the question. I'm not going to answer any
When
questions
did you know of
at this
Mr.
time.
Pearson's
Thank you so
innocence?
much. Appreciate it.
Why won't you answer that question?
What do you think the state of South Carolina should do with Solicitor Chip Finney?
I think he should be disbarred. I think he should not be allowed to practice law in the state of South Carolina or anywhere else.